closer. Good afternoon. Welcome to Reed's Learning Street. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We thank you for joining us this afternoon. I will be speaking with King the Swimmer, and we will be discussing Wakanda Forever. Good
Hello,
afternoon.
how are you today?
It's good to see you. I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
It's good to see you instead of only hearing you.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling?
Um,
I know you saw this movie a couple times.
yes. I like the movie.
Okay. So, tell me what you thought about it.
Um, it was a lot of ways it could tie into other things, other movies and life itself. I peeped that while watching it twice.
Okay, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so do you have a presentation for me?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's get started on that. I would love to share that with everyone, or let's go over it together. In the meantime, this is King the Swimmer. Let me get your information up to make sure that everyone can get in touch with you if they would like to. Can you also let them know personally where they can find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at King the Swimmer 09 and on Cash App at King the Swimmer.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And of course, you can reach us learningstreetreads at gmail.com, um, on Facebook and Instagram at Reads Learning Street. Do you have that together for us yet?
Yes.
All right, all right. So let's get that put into the stream.
You want me to share my screen now?
Yes, yes, certainly.
All right. Can you see my screen?
I do.
Okay.
So
All
can
right.
you before can you enlarge it, or is that as
That's how as large as it gets.
okay?
All right. So first, Black Panther. That's the title. This is the picture I've chosen. Okay. Introduction. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is a 2022 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Black Panther. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the sequel to Black Panther 2018 and the 30th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also known as MCU. Directed by Ryan Coogler, who co-wrote and screenplay with Joe Robert Cole. The film stars Letitia Wright as Shuri slash Black Panther, alongside Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Winston Duke, Florence Kusumba, Dominique Thorne, Michelle Coel, Tonette Sherritt Malizai, I think I'm saying it right, Martin Freeman, Julian Louise Dreyfus, and Angela Bassett. In the film, the leaders of Wakanda fight to protect their nation in the wake of King T'Challa's death. The mutant son of a human sea captain and a princess of the mythical undersea kingdom of Atlantis, Namor possesses the super strength and aquatic abilities of the Homo humanus race, as well as the mutant ability of flight, along with other superhuman powers. Through the years, he has been portrayed as an anti-hero, authority as a good-natured but short-fused superhero or a hostile invader seeking vengeance for perceived wrongs that misguided surface dwellers committed against his kingdom. The first known comic book anti-hero, the Submariner, has remained a historically significant and relatively popular Marvel character. He has served directly with the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Invaders, the Defenders, the X-Men, and the Illuminati, and served as a foil to them on occasion. Namor has in common with T'Challa's nemesis Killmonger, also known as Michael B. Jordan, and also with Magneto from the X-Men films, and Koba from the first chapters of Planet of the Apes. A grievance-based radicalism that the movie struggles to refute.
Rad-
Herta's, say it again?
Radicalism?
Yes. Herta's performance is weighted more with sorrow than anger, and his people, with their blue skins and gill-like masks, are beautiful and mysterious. Tolakan, a kind of Mayan Atlantis, adds a new aesthetic element to Marvel's plate.
Plateau.
Plateau. I don't think that's
Yes.
extending the Afro-Futurist visions of Hannah Batchelor's production design and Ruth Carter's costumes into something wondrously comics and cosmopolitan. The first group of Dora Milaje were highly trained wetwork or assassination specialists and were assigned to work with Deadpool during the Doom War between Doctor Doom and Wakanda. These Midnight Angels used specialized non-vibranium equipment to avoid Doom's control, his having discovered the connection between vibranium and his own magic. Aya and Onika were initially standard Dora Milaje, not affiliated with the Midnight Angels. However, when they rebelled against the Doras using Midnight Angels flight technology, they began to call themselves the Midnight Angels. Among the Wakandian women they fought for. When the angels liberated women in the Jabari lands, were provided with further access to this flight technology, a new corps of official Midnight Angels was born and used to engage Wakanda's new enemies in Azania. Azania, that's a place in Africa.
Okay, I was just going to ask you.
My references is marvelfandom.com, nighttimes.com, and wikipedia.org.
Okay. Um, I like that. So I'm going to add value to what you have presented, and I'm going to bring up my images. Let's see. Okay, so of all of that you just read, um, I heard you say the beginning that you saw connections to real life. Is that what you said earlier?
Yes.
Can you share like one or two ways that you saw the connection?
Just how they were and like how our people should be
When you
and
say our people and who how they were, who are you referencing?
what do you mean?
You said how they were. They as in the
The
Wakandans or
people,
in the
the
I'm
Wakandians.
sorry?
Both the Wakandians and the Tolokans, really.
Okay. As in like comparing them to us how?
I'm not comparing, I'm just saying that's how our people should be.
Oh, got you. Got you. How in what kind of way? Or in which ways I should say.
Just how they are about their people and how they are willing to protect them no matter what.
Okay, I can agree with that. I like that too because we should all in a sense have that mentality of okay, well, if you're trying to take out my people, I have to protect my people. If if you're trying to take the resources that belong to my people, why would I not protect those resources and my people and you getting those resources, especially if those resources are very powerful. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yes.
Great power. Okay, so let me start my presentation here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring off that blue. Okay, so here I've got these three matriarchs as I saw them. You've got the Queen of Wakanda, her daughter, and then her son's significant other. I'm not sure if in the first Wakandan that they were ever even married or anything like that. So we'll just say that she was the significant of the original first Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, right?
Yes.
Okay. I saw this as an interesting image to think about as well. I don't know. Did you mention if something about? Didn't you mention about these midnight angels?
Yes, I did.
I saw how in the movie they it was almost like they transformed, but it was like they had the long locks. And I saw this image here that also had the cartoon character or the comic strip characters and how they were uh, portrayed. And the one has a few locks in the back, and then the other one has the one long lock in the back. Although it was still only two of them, just like in the movie. And they ended up seceding from, well, not seceding, but working separately from the Dora Malaysia, right?
Yes.
I hope we're not, if you haven't seen the movie already, it's been out for a few weeks now. So we're not throwing out any spoilers because there's been plenty of time to get a chance to look at it. So these are the Midnight Angels. And I thought it was interesting how their suits were laced with the vibranium and how much stronger they were than even some of the men in the tribe or in Wakanda. What the Jabari tribe,
Yes.
you know. Then there's this gentleman, Kokolkan, is that his name?
Namor.
Namor. Namor, the one who does not have love, although that's not really truth, because if he didn't love his people, as he did, he would not have fought so hard to protect them. So he actually had more love for them than it was portrayed. And that name would not have stuck anyway. Namore, as they tried to say, it was, you know, him without, he is without love. Okay, so look at this headdress on him.
It looks like a snake a little bit.
It is. That's what I said too. And it almost looks like there's I guess a fang coming out. I can see the fangs, and then look, the feathers in his head, like the serpent feathers in the serpent, or the feathered serpent.
Water's feathered serpent god.
The serpent god. What's his name?
The water
Quetzalcoatl.
serpent god.
Quetzalcoatl. Yes. Interesting how he has the serpent god as his headpiece. And look, he's got the wings on his feet, and it looks almost like he's got the wings on his back. And in the movie, of course, he was able to fly through the sky as well as through the water, right?
Yes.
How was that? Did you remember how he was able to be?
Because he was the only one of his kind that was related to humans.
I thought
So
they were all related to humans, though. They transformed after they they drank the 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 sacred flower, the sacred plant, right?
yes,
His mother was pregnant with him though, so he didn't take the sacred plant.
it was like sold into him.
He was the first one born with it in him.
Yes.
That's kind of deep. And, okay, so here's the comic strip portrayal of him in the comic books. One of them, and he's got his quote unquote partner in crime right behind him. And this is the image of him when he's speaking to the Queen of Wakanda. He's got the pointy ears, and look, he's even got the widow's peak, just like in the comic strip. Namor Kukulkan. Yep, that's him. Okay, then there's this image of him where he's got the headpiece on again. But in the movie, he was actually coming down and ascending onto his throne, right? And this throne is like Jaws, the teeth of Jaws,
Yes, man.
or a whale. But we know a whale don't have sharp teeth like that. It would have to have been a large shark. Quetzalcoatl, or what's the other one? Aquaman? No, is it
Yes.
Aquaman? Is Aquaman?
Yes.
It reminds me almost of Aquaman because Namor was able to control all the animals in the sea because they were riding on them. Remember,
Yes, I do.
was not Aquaman able to do that too?
Yes, he was too.
And then also, like they used water as bombs. Remember, he came and jumped up and he threw, or they were throwing water as bombs.
Yes, man.
Okay, so this is an interesting image of Shuri. Shuri, am I pronouncing that right?
And so yes.
Okay, so yes, she's got all the facial markings uh, of showing that she's a Wakandan, the native or the origine of that land mass. Did you know what I we didn't talk about how he Namor just when Shuri and her mom were sitting and they were talking, remember they were reminiscing on the Black Panther.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Namor came up and he just walked up on the land. But what he was from, what area is he actually from, even in the movie? If we look at the images on the walls, even thinking about Quetzalcoatl, that's all Central America, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Central and South America, that's the Americas. So how is it that he's under the sea in the Americas and walks up on land and ends up in Wakanda?
He, um,
Did you think about that? I bet you didn't think about that.
no.
Even when at the beginning of the movie and it said where his people when the Spanish conquistadors came in and were they brought the smallpox and was that killed the people, and then the people that were left they came and enslaved them, and that's how Namor and his ended up in the water, escaping these conquistadors who overtook or came in and colonized their landmass. So they went directly into the water. So how do they go directly into the water and they're in Central America? And then when they come right up, they're in Wakanda. Wouldn't that mean that Wakanda will be somewhere in the Americas?
No, not necessarily, because you saw that they can swim underwater very fast.
Yes. And they were also using the animals, the whales, you know, to move through the water swiftly as well. So that's a possibility though, that they would just. But even still, at the beginning though, remember when the one, I guess he would be the priest,
Yes.
and he jumped down and went under the water. He jumped off the land and went under the water, found the sacred plant, came right back up. That would have still been Central America where that sacred plant that contained the vibranium. The vibranium would have been right there in Central America, under the water. Contemplate on there are places in the water that have not even been uh, explored yet. Just like the Kokolkins, or what were the people called? They were so far down. He said, sure, he had to put on that suit. And even at the beginning, when they found the vibranium, or when the Americans found the vibranium, and it was so far down that it would crush. There was no suit possible to get down that far, or they, some think about the different places that have not been explored yet in the water. Is it possible for Atlantis? Couldn't Kukulkan be Atlantis? The Atlanteans?
Yes.
Okay, I know I'm getting a little bit off track, so let's continue forward. All right, so look, I have this image of Namor and his um, partner in crime. I don't like using that term because it wasn't really crime when you're protecting your people. Is it really a crime? But she was his one of the military, what you would say, military generals, and she's
Yes.
got this gill on her face to help her
That,
breathe, huh?
that's what they use to breathe when they're not underwater.
So it would have to have water in it. That's what's attached to their backs, or
Yeah.
somehow it's got water in it so that they can breathe through the water. He
Yes.
didn't have any on though,
Because he is the only one who can breathe air.
and go
Because,
underwater.
yes.
Okay. Like at the beginning when they had that, what was that animal, or not animal, but the squid, not squid, but
Jellyfish?
the jellyfish. A jellyfish is like that. It doesn't have it breathes everything. It breathes through its skin. So would he be able to breathe through his skin when he's underwater like a jellyfish?
It's possible.
And then remember the fight scene though, where he wasn't able to. He was losing all his energy.
Yes. Because he can go on to land, but he still needs water to heal him and get energy.
So that's interesting. That's like us. Our bodies are made up of a minimum of 80% water. And we need water to sustain us the same way he was like he couldn't, he had to get to the, he was about to just be dead if he didn't get to that water and get some water in his system to heal him. And even his people, remember they would regenerate, they would heal thyself, a physician, heal thyself. Having enough water in us will assist us in healing self. Let me get my sip of water. Water heals. Okay, that's a good. I like that connection analogy. Okay, and then there's this new young lady here as well. Um, she's forging. The image I got was her forging the heart. She had cut the heart out of the metal.
Yes.
Iron heart, like was Iron Man, but instead of Iron Man, is Iron Heart. Interesting character here as well. Is it possible that she's going to become a Wakandan, or maybe be
Now Wakanda.
not a Wakandian? Maybe one of those one of the Marvel characters.
Yeah, she's gonna have her own show called Ironheart.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for enlightening me. I don't get to watch and read up on comics and movies that often. Okay, so Ironheart is going to have her own spinoff. And at the end of the movie, too, though, we saw that Shuri got to meet what I think, or who I think is going to be the next Black Panther. I could be wrong. I think it was a good lead in though to it. To she met her nephew. I think he was what 6 years old,
Yes, one of those.
something like that, 6 or 7, somewhere around there. But and he knew who he were, even though he was going by a different name. And he's this he if someone knew about him, he would be put on blast, and people would probably be trying to get at him to take him out so that he wouldn't be able to take his position as the next king of Wakanda or the next Black Panther, because technically if his dad's sperm went into his mom, and his dad was the Black Panther and had the vibranium in him, that would have put the vibranium in the son, wouldn't it?
No,
No, okay,
that's
no,
not how
right.
that works.
That's not how it works. It goes through the mother's bloodline anyway.
Because
But
if it did, if
Namor
it
was born with it in him, but he came through his mother.
yes, and if it did work like that, then that would mean that Shuri would have been had Black Panther powers because his her father was the first Black Panther,
Right. Were they? Yeah, that's right.
and T'Challa had to still eat the fruit to get his powers. So his mother would have to have the powers.
To go through the mother's blood instead of. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, keeping it scientific, it would have to pass down through the mother in order for it to be born with it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, makes sense to me. Okay, do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. Did you have like one more picture?
That was the last one in this string. Which one are you talking about?
Thought you had a picture of the queen.
The queen? Let me see. I thought I did. She was the first image, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right then.
Yeah, she's the first one. Okay, so again, we thank you for joining us today. For those who are going to catch this later on, uh, like, share, comment, subscribe. The Unschool Guide is also available. King the Swimmer is one of our unschool students who is presenting today, as well as I would also like to say thank you to one of our supporters who sent us an additional $1 looking to build up our library to be able to share it, all of our books with other children and adults and whomever else is willing to learn, unlearn, and then relearn. Gratitude to those that do support Reed's Learning Street. Again, thank you for joining us, King the Swimmer. Is there any last words? I'll give you the last words for today.
I don't have any.
You have no last words. Okay. Again, we thank you for joining us. We hope that you have a grand day. Yes.